And I wouldn't clap yet. You haven't seen the photos. You might not like them. You might be clapping for someone you detest their photo. So you can't do the audio with, meaning the microphone. You can't do it at the same time as I'm going to show you guys this video clip. I've only done one big public speaking engagement before this, and I played this clip. So Blake, make sure you got the sound on. Let's go ahead and play this clip. And one more time, Blake. So he says, "You're alive?" So that was in New Jersey. And you can put my microphone on, Blake, please. Hello. Thank you again for coming, you guys. Thanks so much. I really appreciate you being here. Yeah, I don't know. I suppose that if the rest of this event doesn't go over so well, at least you were entertained by that violent / funny clip. And that's something is kind of difficult to pull off. You don't see violence and humor don't really go hand in hand. And I think that's probably the greatest thing I've ever done on a skateboard, is that clip. So, all right. I suppose I should address how difficult it is to get in and out of this chair, but you guys be patient with me. So, I made a photo book. I never had the intention of doing a book, and many things I will say about my photos. I'm not up here and bring you guys here or have you guys here to dote on my photos and proclaim how good they are. I'm pretty insecure about my photography. I took photos for, oh, that's okay. You can leave it on the ground. I took photos for over 20 years, since I was a teenager. None of the photos from when I was a teenager in the book. There might be one from '97, which would qualify that. I think there is one, but whatever. The thing is that I took these photos over 20 years, and much like anyone else that has photographs of their own, they sat in shoe boxes and went with me from apartment to apartment in New York City and Hollywood and Ventura, this, that, and the other, and then there they were. And then over time, just thinking about how many photos I had, and I just started, I have friends that excuse me, that might happen a bit. I have friends that I respect their opinion, and they might be photographers or whatever in their field, but certain friends, I respect their opinion. When I put it to them and showed them the photos, they were very encouraging to me doing this. And I guess the other thing I'll get to is, then again, this doesn't make these photos these were all before, most all the photos you're going to see is before the invention of a camera on a phone. So they do kind of come from that world of that time. And time was different. Time was just different. Time passed different back then. Of course, time passes differently when you're younger. Hi, welcome to the event. We were waiting for the both of you to come in for me to start. No, I'm totally kidding. There'll be people coming in as we do the thing, which is fine. And again, most all these photos were taken from the time before the invention of the iPhone and cell phone photos and whatnot. Nothing to take away from them. It's just anyone who's as old as I am or whatever, they remember that time period where you do run around with a camera. And I gotta say, a lot of young people nowadays, I was just in New York for a couple months, and there's plenty of young people running around with T4s and Context 2s and disposable cameras and whatnot, and I think that's just fantastic. I think it's really great that that's still a thing. And then lastly, I guess before I get into it, I never sought out to be some sort of photographer. Not even as a side engagement. It was just me being able to travel the world and do, through skateboarding, I traveled the world and found myself in many places and just interesting situations, and people who are a little bit older than me really pushed me to, hey, you should take photographs. And so that's what the collection of these photos are, taken between 1997 and 2015. So, all right. Let's get into it. And this is the first image. I expected more of a, oh, just kidding. So, one thing about the photos in my book, now this photo was taken when I was in my 20s, and why that's relevant is I just wouldn't take photos like a lot of the photos you're gonna see coming up, because it's a bit intrusive. Now, you can't identify who these people are, you know, you couldn't, their faces aren't in it, but it was the moment, and that's what these photos are. They're a collection of moments. There's nothing set up. There was nothing set up. I never thought to set something up. I was only going around, and what I saw is what I saw. And when I saw this young couple on any given night in New York City, and the way that they're positioned, where she's slightly leaning into him, but she's really leaning into what's wrong, and he's leaning into what's wrong, and it didn't catch me as if they just found out someone died or something. They just got fucked up. And maybe with getting fucked up, they kind of lost their way in an argument, or maybe, and then maybe she split and went to some other bar and he found her. Like, who knows? You know what I mean? But that's what I like that thing about photography is the unknown parts that you can draw upon. You know, like that's within any of my photos. That's all I want, is that reaction of just like, oh man, what the fuck happened to them? Or what's going on there. I suppose that's my favorite, is what's going on there. That's cool. And another thing about making a photography book is I really like the idea that this book will end up in someone's house or apartment or wherever, and then they'll have friends come over, and then this friend will just take the book down from the shelf and start looking at it with completely out of context from my dumbass. They won't know who I am, you know, so I really like that. I like that sort of thing. So yeah, I'm not up here trying to sell you a million ways of why I made this book, but I can't help myself from saying it over and over again, like, well, it's this because of this, and it's this. I don't think that I'm a fucking Helmut Newton over here. I'm far fucking from it. So let's see the next photo, Blake. So this photo is taken in New York. I lived at Kenmare and Mott for a number of years, and there was a parking lot just behind my building, and I would cut through this parking lot to go to this restaurant, Lucky Strike, and many different places to the south of me. I would say hi to this man many times. He had a cat that would be in the booth, and you know, one night I was going by, and he was sleeping, so I took his picture. And I don't even think I meant to put myself in the photo. I don't even know if I realized that was at the time, but you'll see as we go, I like funny shit. I just like funny moments, you know. Yeah, so that's this picture. Go ahead and do the next photo, Blake. And by the way, if you don't like these photos, like, I ain't doing any fucking breakdancing, you know, like, after this. There's no TikTok, no fucking, you know, no free churro. So this is a photo I took in Texas. I believe this was outside of Dallas on a skateboard tour, and that's Dylan Reeder right there. And that's not set up. You know, we were just somewhere. There's probably a restaurant or a store behind me. I can't really remember. But there was Dylan, and I thought it was a good photo, and Texas gives you those big skies with that kind of scenery and imagery, so yeah, I really like that photo. And of course, you know, when you have images of someone that's no longer with us, those images swell into a whole different omniverse for you, you know what I mean? Yeah. And this next few photos, so I put the photos in order up until about 8, and then after that, I'm going to be kind of as surprised as you to what comes on the screen. And obviously, I'm not showing you the whole book here. We only have the next 45 minutes. So Blake, go ahead and show the next photo. So again, this is I like landscape. I really, you know, who doesn't like landscape? It's the earth. But I just like big, wide scenes of places, and then you pinpoint that man on the bike. And this is in the middle of nowhere, America, like way, way out there. I couldn't remember where I am. I couldn't tell you where I am. I mean, we could be anywhere from Wyoming to outside of Tucson. And that's another thing, too, is looking through all these photos and then having the book. It's my memory of certain things. Like, I'll be going through these photos, and there's certain I don't remember. Well, there's a lot of these photos I don't remember. I don't remember the context, and I don't even remember where I was. I don't remember. And there's also a lot of the photos we're taking within nightlife, which is part of the non-memory of what you did that night, whatever. But yeah, I just think, where is this man going? And we're in the middle of nowhere. Go ahead, next photo, Blake. So this is outside of Johannesburg, South Africa. And if you look toward the very middle, which I tried to do, is have that guy on the bike in the very middle. I just like that thing of someone going someplace on a big empty road. Not to be ultra philosophical or, you know, but it's just something. We've all walked long distances, and we've all done that. You know, I think if you're lucky, you have, and then if you're not lucky, you're forced to go far and do shit you don't want to do. But I just really like this photo, and just like the other one, it's just a person going a long way on a big open road. And Africa has that beautiful red dirt that just goes on. I thought about this last night before I was going to sleep. You're going to be doing this while sitting in that stupid chair. And I probably should have just stood the whole time. Maybe I will stand up. So anyway, next photo, Blake. So this is the house, another landscape. This is South Dakota on a highway. And again, I like a barren landscape of just strangeness, and for whoever looking at said photo can draw upon their own feeling or whatever. If my photos evoke any sense of feeling whatsoever, then I'm quite happy. Next photo, Blake. I like windows a lot. Who doesn't like windows? That sounds so stupid. Like we live on a submarine. No. I like using windows. I like windows. I like the thing of windows. I just like in photography. And so, even when we were putting this photo in the book, I couldn't remember, like, who is that, number one? And there's a doorknob, and is he inside or am I outside? And that was my own question for myself. And I figured it out. This is on Grand Street. It was at a gallery that an old friend of ours owned, and he actually let me live there for a while, which was nice. And so yeah, that's outside of the gallery, and the guy's sitting out front, but I like it. Next photo, please, Blake. So this is another window out of a hotel room. And this is in Durban, South Africa. And yeah, just over the past couple of days, there was really insane flooding right there, right next to Durban, in parts of Durban, and it killed 400 people, and there's now 47,000 people displaced. It's all fucked up. We're all conscious of the fact that every day bad things happen to good people, and good things happen to bad people on a daily basis, don't they? But yeah, this is Durban, and I just I like that photo, yes, it's a window, but I also like that it looked almost like I took a picture of a movie screen, it felt like it looked like. But yeah, go ahead, next photo, Blake. Again, this is a window that she's looking out of. This is my old apartment on Kenmare and Mott. And I like the way that, so when I'm at this apartment, I'm a younger man, so obviously what do? You get a black sheet and you nail it to the wall. Of course that's your curtain. You're gonna hang curtains, you're gonna nail the black sheet to the wall. I just like how it let the light in. And this is 3200 speed film, which a friend put me onto, and I really like it. And you see the 22 Estella there, really paints the image of my bedroom at that time and my careless life of cloak and dagger. So yeah, next photo, please, Blake. So that's a fan, and those are bubbles. And when you're on Tuesday night with your girlfriend in New York City at her apartment, and you might have some substances that keep you up and maybe some drinks and some music, you don't need to put the TV on. There's bubbles and a fan, and you'll have quite the night. Hey, you know what's funny about that photo, Blake? You see what's still in it that's not in the book? The bottle of water. So the only thing I took out of this book, and Blake, you're not to blame, don't worry. The only thing I took out of this book was that plastic bottle of water. It irked me to the I don't know. But there's nothing else taken out of this book. I'm just trying to be completely transparent with you guys and totally real. So there's no CGI. And we're filming this right now. We're filming this. And I don't know if it's going to be any good enough to put on YouTube or whatever, where people see things, but I don't know. We're filming it, and perhaps with CGI, I'll have you all laugh more, and we'll fill the audience with way more people. And at the end, we'll CGI standing ovation and flowers, and then fucking CGI fucking Will Smith coming up here trying to hit me. I'll fucking block it, and I'll kick him in the nuts. Just kidding. Next photo, Blake. So that last photo was the bubbles flying around the room in New York, and then this is the corner of Stanton, something in New York, but this is me walking home one night. This is summertime, and kids had left the fire extinguisher with the water going. I'm sure I was pretty inebriated when I took this photo. And I just like the droplets of water. I like there's a lot of reds in it, not just the stop sign. There's a lot of reds in it, and I don't know. I just like the whole juxtaposition of the photo. Again, I'm a very novice photographer. I went to one photography class that I passed in high school, and that must have been 16 years old. So next photo, Blake. And I went from that photo to this photo because I took this out of the same apartment where that girl was looking out the window a few moments ago. And when I got this photo back, I was so proud of myself. Not that I was even meaning to do this. I only took a photo of two dudes briskly walking down the street as it started raining. But I got them. I got them in the raindrop. And I love that. Now, that is one thing I am proud of, that I got those guys in that raindrop. And it's such a strange, I was just so happy with it. I was so tickled with it. And I guess that's an aspect of photography, of those things you personally are happy with, and that you landed something. And that's one thing cool about film photography, which none of the photos in the book are digital. None of the photos you're going to see here today are digital. And there's nothing against digital photography. There's really beautiful work out there. It's just I'm ignorant to how to use it, and I don't think I'll ever get into it. But with film is the thing. I know you already know, probably a lot of you already know this, but you don't know what you'll get back a lot of times. You don't know what you get back. So using all different kind of films and whatnot, and it's quite the surprise when you get stuff back sometimes. So yeah, that's the two guys in the raindrop in New York. Next photo, Blake. So this photo's in Athens, Greece, probably 2006 or 7. And I just like very human things. I like funny stuff. Who doesn't like funny stuff? But it's funny. I caught her. She's picking her nose in the back of a taxi. To me, it's human. It's funny. Is it a bit of an intrusion? I think in traffic, I feel less intrusive about the photos I took because I never had a license. I don't drive a car. So a lot of the photos, there's a nice amount of the photos in the book that are taken out of the passenger seat of a car. I could have called this book The Passenger, but I liked my title better. But anywho, there she is. She's probably long dead, but whatever, God bless her. Athens, Greece is a crazy place. Oh, by the way, this photo's got the date on the thing. I was using this very strange Konica camera that had I just didn't get the date off. I didn't mean to do that. I'm not trying to look cool. I think people might do that now. That looks cool. But all right, next photo, Blake. So this would be in Johannesburg, South Africa, and I was there for 3 months in 2004. 3 or 4, I can't remember. But anywho, this kid, he got a hood on his head and he's running down the street and it looks like he's flipping me off. And then there's people standing outside of an internet cafe. That was a big thing in Europe and Japan and Africa. I found out there used to be internet cafes all over the place. The internet cafes, they were a big thing. And I don't think they exist anymore, but whatever. Next photo, Blake. This is my niece, Samantha. She's now 21 and goes to UCSB. And that's her in a bouncy house. And I showed her the photo recently in the book, and she said, "Oh my God, that's what's her name behind me," and da-da-da-da. Like the photo, love my niece. Next photo, Blake. I got you. I don't know if you've ever had the experience of being next to a baboon. It's frightening. It's frightening. I was in Africa in places where I was next to baboons where they didn't have a cage, but in a car. You don't want to be anywhere close to a baboon that's not in a cage. They will rip your fucking arm off. They are insane creatures. But I like in the book, you see the 2-page spread of my niece, and then you see this. But I don't know. Maybe I did a good job. Next photo, Blake. So this photo is back to the memory thing of what I remember from these photos. This is one that I'm completely blank to. I don't remember this moment. I don't remember her. I don't remember this night. I don't remember anything about it. But what I like, it's a very blurry photo, but what I like is that her and I must have known each other to some extent. And there she is, so excitingly, coming towards me with a face, and you know what I mean? There was something in that moment that I had with her, she with me, that I believe was worth putting in the book, just because it's just, though my memory is completely blank of this moment, I'd still really like that thing of, there's so many moments in your life where you've exchanged niceties or had extraordinary moments, and you might fucking forget about it completely. You might not even talk to those people that you had those moments with anymore. So that was that with this crazy blurry photo, but yeah. It's my excuse for this photo. Go ahead, next photo, Blake. So this photo, some of you who like rap music might know about. This is Mr. Earl Sweatshirt. And this isn't the actual cover of the Doris album. It's a, what do you call a photo that didn't make it on the?
Reject?
I wouldn't call it a reject, Jason. That's a negative connotation. But thank you. It's an outtake. It's an outtake. So when I shot, the only thing that I've done professionally was shot Tebe's album cover. he asked me to shoot it, and it was a pleasure. It was so epic to be able to shoot his album cover. I was mega nervous. I asked him 100 times, "Are you sure? Are you sure you would?" "Yes, we got it. You do it." So I shot it. I used 3200 speed film, and I covered the flash. I covered the flash. I covered the flash, and then I know you could turn a flash on and off, but I put him in a dark room, and I held these two LED lights that I taped together, and I just wanted the image to look a certain way. Now, the cover of the album, I think, is better than this photo, but I included this in the book, so I don't know, it's a little game that people know the cover. They know that this isn't the photo of the cover, but again, I was so proud to do Tebe's album cover, and I was in New York when it came out, and to be able to be walking down the street with my girlfriend at the time, and every other block was the poster, just up all over, and that was just so fantastic. It was so cool. It was so cool. So yeah, good old Tebe. He has a new album out right now, which I'm sure you guys know. It's called Sick. It's a very good album. Next photo, Blake. I'm gonna stand up now because I feel silly reaching back. Get out of here, Steven Spielberg. Okay, so he's not. So this is a photo. This is my friend Sean in Brooklyn, New York, many years ago, and this is one of those photos where I probably wasn't going to use it in the book, but enough people said to me, like, "Hey, I think that photo's great. You should use that photo." And to me, it's like kind of it's not immature. It's just hey, you know, hold this mirror and your face is the sky, and it's like a fucking Pink Floyd album cover. But whatever. I like it. It's grown on me, and you know, of course. And I'm a sucker for the encouragement of my friends. Next photo, Blake. So this kid. So on the outskirts of Berlin are these giant tenement buildings filled with people who aren't so well off in life. It's a bit outside of Berlin. I forget what it's called, but there's just rows and rows of tenement buildings. And there was a skate spot right kind of behind me in this photo. And this kid and his older brother were hanging around. And yeah, this chair makes me look really short.